on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
We're set on first down. Caught here by Conley. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Brissett. Flushed out right. Open man is Galladay. Complete. Past the 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there. A big one.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Ty Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now the try here for the point after. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
I'm coming after you. Ready?
They try again with Cohen, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Whitaker. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
45 to Mike. 45. Be a long day for you.
Brissett. Dancing to his left. And the Detroit Lions hit pay dirt.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. and boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points, straight line.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
30 base. Hey.
Throwing on first down. Whitaker. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bears on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Whitaker. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
At 70, Indy. Come on. Let's go.
On first down, Whitaker over the middle, complete. It's Reeves. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
2nd and 6. He'll get this complete into the hands of Riley Ridley. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Whitaker gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. Whitaker now a this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now, it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt for the two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still second down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Vance. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Bears take over. So now the Bears down by 2 touchdowns. A minute 35 to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Whitaker. Throw left side complete. That's Reeves. And they work this well upfield across the 45. On 1st and 10, Whitaker.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. His throw caught right around the 6. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. And it's caught. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. 6 seconds now, 5 seconds. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Won't be enough, but here's a final chance at the extra point. It's up and it's good, but it won't matter. His 7 is as close as they're going to get, and this game is over. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for Detroit, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.